Hello and a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are around the world, and welcome to today's LLM Postgrad Insights. Today is the start of our LLM festival that we hold annually. We will hear from various different law schools from all over the USA and some in Europe as well, talking about the various different LLM and JD offerings. Today is brought to you by Case Western Reserve University School of Law in Ohio. They are going to talk to you about everything about their LLM and global legal studies, everything there is to know about Ohio, the state, the campus, everything you need to know. If anyone has any questions, please pop it in the chat or the Q&A facility. And if you are watching on demand, please pop it in an email to webinars@postgradsolutions.com. But for now, I've got Liz on the line. She'll be taking you through the next 20 minutes. I'll be back for the Q&A session at the end. Liz, over to you. Any problems? I'll be back on.
Thank you. Good day. My name is Liz Wojcinski. I'm Director of Admissions and Student Services in the Office of Global Legal Studies, and we provide Master of Laws and Doctor of Juridical Science degrees to international students. We have about 80 students enrolled from all over the world. And I'm here to tell you today about our Master of Laws degrees. And I'll start off by telling you that our Master of Laws degree was one of the first in the United States established just for international students. So we've been offering our Master of Laws degrees since 1992 to international students, and we're very proud to have over 1,500 alumni in countries all over the world, virtually almost all continents. And yeah, they're practicing law, working in high-level government positions, working in business. And that alumni network is part of the resources that we offer our new and incoming students. Let me tell you a little bit more about our LLM program. So we're part of Case Western Reserve University, which has several graduate and professional degree programs, and in addition to law, and including undergraduate programs. So as a university, we're highly ranked among national research universities. We're sort of a medium-size private research university in Cleveland, Ohio. And these world rankings have us recognized among the best universities in the world. As a law school, we've also been highly recognized. We're ranked as one of the top LLM programs in the United States. That's a 2025 designation for our LLM program. Also, Pre-Law Magazine has rated our programs in many areas, and I've listed here the ones that we offer LLM degrees very highly. And our faculty is very highly regarded. They publish, and their work is quoted in courts and in other scholarly legal publications, and number 30 in the United States for active scholarship, active recognized scholarship. This slide shows how well we're ranked in international law in particular. So there are many prestigious universities listed there, and this group rates us, among the top programs in international law in the United States. We offer 4 different LLM degrees. Students can apply for any one of them when they fill out their online applications for admission. But I serve as the advisor to students when they get here, And I help them consider all four again. So we do offer that flexibility where you can change the LLM degree program. But to start, we offer the general LLM degree that we call US and Global Legal Studies. And it is the general LLM degree, not the specialized degrees that I will talk about next. Um, it's general in that students can take almost any class at the law school and have that count towards the 24 credits that they need to complete an LLM degree. So students take the core 3 classes that introduce them to legal writing in the US and government and law in the United States, and also contract law, which is a great way to learn about common law. And after those 3 classes, students can choose whatever classes they want, and they have room in that flexibility if they want 10 credits within the 24 credits for an area of specialization. So we call it a concentration. We don't have majors and minors in law school, but it would be equivalent to kind of like a minor. And so 10 of the 24 credits could be anything that you choose. So we've had students do concentrations in health law, bankruptcy, investment law. And so you get official documents at the end of your LLM that say that with the general LLM degree, you have this minor or this concentration in this particular subject. Um, and also, the US and Global Legal Studies LLM degree that's general is very useful for students who want to qualify for and sit for a US bar exam, because it allows students to take a wide variety of classes and a wide variety of subjects that are tested on a US bar exam. And that will help students qualify for a US bar exam, and I help students learn what the requirements are for different bar exams, and it helps them to prepare to pass a US bar exam. So that's our first LLM degree, US and Global Legal Studies. The next 3 that are listed there are specialized degree programs. International Business Law has you take all your 24 credits in addition to those 3 introductory classes that I mentioned before in business law. So it gives you a high level of expertise in the field of international business law. And that is probably our most popular LLM degree. Uh, some of the subjects tested on a US bar exam are part of the electives. You can choose many electives in international business law. Some of them are on a US bar exam, so that's also a good degree to consider if you're thinking about taking a US bar exam. The other degrees are intellectual property law and international criminal law. We have a wide variety of classes in both those areas of study. And yes, those are wonderful programs of study in those particular areas. Again, the same core 3 classes, and then a wide variety of some required classes in each of those subjects, but then a wide variety of electives. But all your 24 credits after those core classes have to be in intellectual property law or international criminal law. So that's why we call them our specialized degrees. So of course, I mentioned that we have a Doctor of Juridical Science degree program. We have a few LLM students graduating who get admitted to our SJD program. It's a research degree. It prepares students to return to their home countries, having earned the highest level degree in law possible. And they often pursue high-level government positions or they want to teach. They want to be university professors in schools of law in their home country. And that, well, the LLM degree over 24 credits is kind of a 2-semester degree. The Doctor of Juridical Science degree is at least 3 years, between 3 and 5 years before students have earned, a satisfactory enough dissertation that's ready for graduation. The JD program is the first degree in law that Americans pursue. In the United States, they get undergrad degrees and then pretty much in any subject, and then they go on to get their law degree. And that JD degree, unlike the SJD, prepares students to work as lawyers. So it prepares them in a wide variety of legal subjects. It prepares them to take a US bar exam, and that's a 3-year degree. So we do have some of our LLM graduates transfer into either one of those degree programs. So with our LLM degree, we, as I stated earlier, have this large alumni network. Some of them are stayed in the United States and created careers here, but many of them return to their home countries. And we can help you connect to those alumni who, are grateful for their time at Case Western Reserve and the LLM program and are eager to be of assistance to our current students in terms of networking for future educational or employment opportunities. We have a strong international law community in the United States, in Cleveland, and the Greater Cleveland International Lawyers Group, the international section of the Cleveland Metropolitan Bar Association, and we have the Greater Cleveland Chinese Chamber of Commerce. Our students attend events at these organizations, network with people who are working in those in international law, and learn from those contacts. We do help students to qualify for US bar exam, and we now offer a substantially discounted bar prep curriculum for our LLM graduates. That's a bargain. It will help students to be prepared for a US bar exam. And of course, the LLM helps students improve their English language. And we do allow students to stay maybe for a summer session or an extra semester to get CPT externships or look for OPT internships after they graduate. So we do help students further improve their spoken English language. As a university, we have over 1,000 international students from over 100 different countries. And so as a university, we help students to improve their English and their presentation skills, even their networking and job interview skills. We have tutors that help LLM students in law school subjects. Our professor takes our students to the US federal courthouse in Cleveland to watch trial proceedings. The judge there is very kind to our students and offers Q&A after the trial proceedings. My office organizes a lot of different activities that you can pursue for extracurricular entertainment. Niagara Falls is just hours from here. The orchestra, fall picnics, that kind of thing. It's important, of course, your education, but it's also very important to learn from where you study and have an excellent experience outside of class too. I'll just quickly float through some of our alumni profiles, people who are working in high-level legal or government positions in their home countries, Canada and India and Thailand and China. A little bit about where we're located. We're located in Cleveland, Ohio. We're in the northeast corner of Ohio. We're in the Eastern time zone of the United States. And you can see that within a 500-mile radius, you can easily drive within a day, a shorter day to, to New York City, to Washington, D.C., to Chicago, etc. It's really in a very nice, centrally located place. It's a lovely place to be in terms of being right on one of the 5 Great Lakes, one of the largest sources of fresh water in the world. And that provides a lot of recreational and park opportunities for people living in Cleveland. Cleveland is also a mid-sized city. It's not as expensive to live here as it is on the East Coast or West Coast. So we have the advantages of a lot of city fun things to do, city cultural things to do, without the cost of living, including apartments, being outrageously expensive. This is a picture of our campus. We're on the east side of Cleveland. We're in a neighborhood called University Circle. And yeah, it's a park-like area that is separate from downtown by about a 10-minute, 15-minute drive. And you can see off on the horizon there the skyscrapers of Cleveland. And you can also see on the horizon line there the shores of Lake Erie. And yeah, it's a big lake. Feels like standing at an ocean when you're standing there at Lake Erie. So in the lower left-hand corner, you see our business school with the fantastic titanium kind of roof. And then the law school is the green roofed building there in the middle. And yeah, so I'll tell you a little bit more about University Circle, our neighborhood. So this shows the park-like campus that we have. And University Circle is named primarily for Case Western Reserve University, but there are universities in arts and music that share this University Circle location with us. And there are lots of cultural institutions. So on the bottom left, that's our art museum. That's the Cleveland Museum of Art. And it's ranked within the top 5 art museums in the country. There was a lot of wealth in Cleveland around the turn of the century. And people created these outstanding cultural institutions that still benefit us today. The art museum's free to everybody who comes in. It's right across the street from the law school, and it has wonderful traveling exhibitions and a large collection in pretty much every period of art from all over the world. And then next to that, to the right, is the Botanical Gardens, also kind of across the street from the law school. And students can cross there. Where that is not free, you can get in free with your Case Western Reserve ID card. So they have lovely indoor exhibits of a rainforest and a desert and all the flora that goes into that, including butterflies, and lovely outdoor gardens. And it's a great place to sit and have lunch in the warm weather. And yeah, it's great. And then on the far right there is the indoors. You can see the concert hall of Severance Hall. That's the home of the Cleveland Symphony Orchestra. again, considered one of the top orchestras in the United States. And students can get $15 tickets to pretty much any performance. So even if you're not a regular fan of classical music, and within a 5-minute walk from the law school, you can go and get these wonderful concerts that you can experience while you're a law school student. On the upper line, that's the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame for the United States is in Cleveland. That term was coined by radio professionals in Cleveland, and we bring a lot of concerts to Cleveland. Then we have downtown, these pedestrian streets where restaurants are frequented. And the other picture in the top right is of Edgewater. That's our city beach, and students can do boating there, or like kayaking and that kind of thing, or sit on the beach, go swimming, that kind of thing. So it's a lovely place to be. So we do have students who come from all over the world, and we do require students to have a strong background in English. Law school has demanding needs for a student to speak English well, to read it, and to write well. So we do have a way, though, that students can qualify for admission without taking the TOEFL or the IELTS. And so this ELS center, which has centers all over the United States and some abroad, where students can study English. So we do have a great partnership with them, and if you finish their highest level, 112, then we take that in lieu of TOEFL or IELTS. So a little bit about our LLM program. The tuition is $64,600 in this academic year. Estimated living expenses include everything, including student health insurance. In Cleveland, students can pay about $800 a month for a shared apartment, sometimes less. There is no on-campus housing for graduate students in Cleveland, but I help students find housing nearby and in safe neighborhoods, and so that's no problem to find off-campus housing. We do have our own health insurance that students can buy, but students are allowed, it's required to have it. Students can buy or use another provider for student health insurance. And those are when tuition payments are due. So the application deadline is October 15th for the spring semester, April 1st for the fall semester. And we evaluate applications on a rolling basis, so you'll get an answer within a week of completing your application for admission. You can upload your transcript, personal statement, and 2 letters of recommendation, and we'll get back to you very quickly about admission. So we do give out scholarships primarily on the basis of TOEFL and IELTS scores. So this tells you what you need in terms of scholarships, in terms of scores for these scholarships. A 20% tuition scholarship requires any of those scores. We also have 40% tuition scholarships for students that add geographic diversity to our international LLM class. So we do have students who sit for US bar exams. If you have a lawyer's license in your home country, you can take the California bar. Many students around the United States, no matter where they pursue their LLM degree, they take the New York bar exam. That's a popular place for international students to sit for a bar exam, including our students. For that bar exam, you must have an undergraduate degree in law. Um, for California, you just need to have your lawyer's license. So if you have no undergraduate degree in law, you can still be admitted to our LLM program. Um, but if you're not a certified lawyer in your home country, the only way to sit for a US bar exam would be to complete the JD degree. And that would be about 3 years. Some credits can come in from the LLM program that you've completed. And then also the SJD, which I've talked a little bit about already. Internships, we do help students with their resumes. We help them network for jobs. Um, there are different ways that you can try to get internships here. One of them is while you're a student here. It's a process called CPT, Curricular Practical Training. And so LLM students, when they're international, cannot start the CPT until after they've finished 2 semesters of full-time study. That's a US immigration kind of visa rule. So we allow students to do that maybe in the summer after they've graduated or after they've finished their LLM studies in May, or in a third semester when they take a very small number of credits, paying a lot less tuition so that they can have this CPT internship. And the other way is to graduate and seek OPT, optional practical training, that you can do after graduation, and you extend your visa paperwork. It's called an I-20, so that you can stay up to a year and work in a field related to your studies. Um, so our office helps students with those opportunities as well. I'm going to wrap up my presentation here and encourage you to contact us at LLM sjd@case.edu, and that comes to me and my colleague Andrea, and we try to answer emails same day, and we look forward to corresponding with you with any questions you may have about our LLM degree programs, admission, and scholarships.
Thank
Thank you.
you, Liz. If we can leave it on that screen, please, just so that if any students need to see anything, that would be great. Firstly, thank you for your time. I always find it fascinating. It's not the first time I've seen information about Cleveland and Ohio, and every time I watch it, I'm fascinated. I find out something new every time, which is great. I want to talk about the post graduation, post Case Western, because you put a lot of emphasis on it there, and I think one of the things that struck me was you showed that great slide deck of the amount of alumni that you've now got in various different countries. I think they were varying from Canada to India to, I think it was Thailand to China.
Mhm.
And that is a huge kind of a very broad range of nationalities. It does add to the fact perhaps that it's a very multicultural student population within Case Western. Is that right? And because of that, does it mean you get fantastic ideas and great innovative ideas from different people as well?
Yes, it does. Uh, so you see the diversity of countries that are enrolled within our law school, in our LLM and SJD programs that are specifically offered for international students. And there's a lot of diversity there among our current students and certainly among our alumni since 1992. So sure, I think it is a very strong resource when you're here as an LLM student, because you're already networking with people who will be lawyers all over the world. And generally, our LLM students are interested in practicing in international business law, IP law, international criminal law, and they want those and need those international connections for their professional experience years to come. So we do have students that say that, I contacted my classmate when I had, and I see them on WeChat and WhatsApp asking, does anybody know of somebody who can um, give us some assistance here in this particular topic? So having that kind of breadth of classmates and then alumni that we can introduce you to talk about what opportunities there might be for to study further or to get a job when you graduate.
Yeah, because people typically kind of forget the post-graduation stage. They forget if you're on an F1 visa, I think you've got 60 days, haven't you, to
Yes.
kind of make your mind
Mhm,
up on what you want to do. And
mhm,
like you mentioned, if you get the OPT and you get that internship, then it's 12 months.
mhm,
The likelihood is people that, and we hear this all over the USA as well, wherever they decide to study, they love it there. So they tend to stay there no matter what it is. They want to
mhm,
kind of continue their living there, whether they settle down or not, it's a different thing. Um, how important is it, and what kind of hand-holding exercise is there post-graduation to ensure that not only have they got the right job, it's it's what suits them according to what
mhm.
they've studied and the personality that you've seen within them that could get them the right job within Cleveland. And
Right.
as a result of that, do you see many people stay within Cleveland?
We do. But I would say about half stay in Cleveland, and I would say half um, go to other parts of the country, maybe the West Coast or the East Coast, maybe New York City or DC or California. So we do encourage students to be open to internship opportunities wherever
Yeah.
they might find them. And we encourage students that it's so important to start thinking about what you want to do after the LLM as soon as you arrive. So your first few weeks is a good time to update the resume that you use to apply for admission and to include your Case Western Reserve LLM. After the first semester, include your classes, any honor grades that you've earned. We'll help you with that resume. I help students, our career development office does, set up a LinkedIn profile. There are certain ways to present yourself for a legal career, and our law school helps you with that, you know, how to present yourself the way we do it in our country for legal jobs. And then I help students find those networks within Cleveland where they can meet people who are practicing international law and to start networking there. So,
Hmm.
um, you know, it's important to develop the skills that you need to for a job search from the start. And our office does a lot of outreach to students that helps them to be successful when they graduate.
I'm going to go to the admission stage now. You mentioned about no on-campus housing, which is very common in the USA, especially at this level as well.
Mhm,
Um, you mentioned you help, which is fantastic. Quite often, it's an area that people forget about. They go, right, I want to move there, I want to live there, but the most important thing is they've got to live there for a year or 2 years, and perhaps
mhm,
beyond. Um, what help is there to students that want to look now? Perhaps they're going, right, I'd rather have a look and see what it's like to live there, what the living expenses are like, what the housing conditions are like.
mhm.
What websites can they look at and what help can they get to go through that process?
Sure. So, yeah, right now they can go to off-campus housing website for Case Western Reserve University. Of course, we have residence halls, but they're just for undergraduates. So that website connects our graduate students in all fields of study to local apartments and that kind of thing. So that's one way. And there's a staff person there who manages that. So that person works full time to help students connect with off-campus housing. And then in my experience advising our LLM students, I know where they've been happy and secure and nearby neighborhoods. So one of those neighborhoods in Cleveland is called Little Italy. And it was settled by Italian immigrants many years ago. There's still a lot of Italian restaurants there. It's a wonderful neighborhood within a 10-15 minute walk to campus. And there are a lot of apartments there. Also help students find on social media, uh, particularly Facebook, where graduate students are looking for roommates, and that can be a way to definitely save on apartment costs if you're willing to share. And I also set up social media sites on WeChat and WhatsApp so to connect the incoming students so they can start finding a like-minded roommate and they can look together. So in addition to this person who does the off-campus housing, I have my own sheet of web links to co-op. We have a co-op on like a 5-minute walk from the law school where you can live very inexpensively. It's primarily for international students and other places. So there's ways
Yeah.
to find off-campus housing.
Excellent. I think it's such an important part to point out. People live there and people quite often forget. And just finally, one of the questions we've had come in is around how can they apply for the SJD?
Mhm.
How can they presumably then go and apply for an LLM course? I just want to finish on as well from you with the final word about the intake dates because there's many universities that offer intake dates throughout the year. Some can start in September, October, some start in January. What is it like for you guys, and are you guys flexible on that?
Yeah, so we do start students in August for the fall semester and January for the spring semester. Um, ad- Opportunities to be admitted are the same at either semester. We also have some students who start in the summer who want that extra kind of background. It's a 3-week class to help students prepare to learn how to read case law, um, and learn how to analyze it and summarize it before they start their LLM classes. And those students start in July before they start their first semester in August. So yeah, there's no application fee. And you mentioned something about SJD admission. The same sort of applies for SJDs as well. The application portal is the same. LLM and SJD, the Office of Global Legal Studies that supports the international students in both those degree programs is right there in our email address. Yeah.
Superb, thank you. I would urge anyone that's got any questions whatsoever, see the email address on the page, llm-sjd@case.edu, to just email in and ask. I'm sure Liz will agree with me. Communication's the key. The more questions you ask, the more interested you get, and the more answers you get ultimately. So, Liz, thank you for your time. Really appreciate that. We look forward to seeing you
You're
again in
welcome.
2026. Crazy.
Yep,
Thank you for your time. And anyone that's
you're
interested,
welcome.
please email us, let us know.
My
Thank you.
pleasure.